I got invited, one of my clients is the San Francisco Giants. I get to work with some pro sports teams because of my background, which is kind of cool. I was down at spring training 2 weeks ago talking to the San Francisco Giants before the season started. And you know what my whole message to them was, as it often is when I talk to pro athletes, is it's okay to get scared. Now that might seem like a strange message for anybody, let alone pro athletes. But they don't get that message, right? They get paid a lot of money to go out and perform and get criticized when they don't do well and get cheered when they do. But on a human, personal level, it's a very stressful, lonely profession. And so my message always when I'm talking to pro athletes, it's like, it's okay to be human, it's okay to get scared. And you know what happens? They look at me kind of sideways as I'm talking to them about it. Like, hey man, you're not supposed to talk about that around here. But then every time, and it happened 2 weeks ago down in Arizona, they'll come up to me, at least a few of them, and they'll look around, make sure no one can hear, and they'll go, hey, come here. And I'll lean in and they'll go, thanks man. I get scared sometimes too. And I always say to them, it's okay. But at some level, I say that to all of you students in here, but every one of you in here as well. It's okay to get scared. And those of you students, whether you're a sophomore or a junior, or especially those seniors, if you're not a little nervous right now, that would be odd, right? Graduating from college is a huge accomplishment that most of you are on the path to do. And obviously the fact that you got invited here is a big deal and an acknowledgement of you. But it's also, from my own personal experience and working with college students all over the country, it's one of the scariest times in life. And I don't think we really get much permission to it's okay to be scared. You're not exactly sure what you're going to do next, how it's going to work, what's going to happen. You come to a conference like this, you put on some nice clothes and come to an event. What am I supposed to say? How am I supposed to act? I don't know. And I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but if you fast forward 30 years or more, you'll still have some of those same doubts and fears. Again, it's just part of being human. But one of the things that we can do, and this is where authenticity really comes into this, is start having a more authentic relationship with ourselves. See, because here's the deal about this. And back when I was playing baseball, I used to think something was wrong with me because I would get really nervous. Even though I was pretty good, I'd go out to the mound and I'd be like, whew, I could feel all my butterflies. But I would look around at my teammates and they didn't look anywhere near as nervous as I felt. And I thought, man, maybe something's wrong with me. Maybe I'm just one of these insecure guys. I don't know. But then I come to find out, oh, they're faking it just like me. Nobody else looks as nervous as you feel, right? And one of the things, though, in life that we can start to do is get a little more real about it and give ourselves some freedom. Because there's something in us, I don't know what it is, something in our culture. We're like hardwired not to want to make mistakes or look bad. How many of you like making mistakes and looking bad in front of other people? Anybody? No, none of us do, right? I was running in my neighborhood a few years ago. It's like hardwired. We don't even think, it's not conscious. It's like instinctual or something. I was running in my neighborhood a couple years ago, early in the morning. We have a little girl, so I get up early sometimes, go for a run. And I was coming to my favorite part of the run, the end. And I went to turn the corner. Our house is about halfway down the block, and I see the house out of the corner of my eye. I'm all excited. Oh, there's my house. I'm almost done. I'm listening to my iPod. I'm all fired up. I'm not looking where I'm going, and I hit a lip in the sidewalk, and I go down, like hard, flat on my face. I hadn't fallen down that hard in years. I caught myself on the pavement right before my chin hit the ground, and as I was laying on the ground, shocked that I'd fallen down that hard, before I stopped to even assess, did I break my leg, I immediately looked up to see if anyone saw me. That was my main concern, right? And thankfully, there were nobody walking their dog, no cars. It was kind of early in the morning, and I'm a little scraped. I'm very dirty. I had gotten all this, right? And I'm literally brushing myself off, limping home, thinking, at least nobody saw that. But here's the deal. This is counterintuitive, but if you start challenging yourself and start giving yourself more permission to fail, and not being so concerned about impressing everyone and looking good all the time, you know what will happen? You'll have more freedom, and you'll ultimately create more success. Michael Jordan said, I missed 100% of the shots that I never took. It can't go in if you don't shoot. And that's a challenge in life. Look, we live in a culture. You turn on the news, you turn on the TV, you look online, everybody's got an opinion about everything, right? And nowadays, for better or worse, we all have access to posting our opinions everywhere so people can see them. And that's fine. I'm all about us expressing ourselves. But our opinions, it's like going to a basketball game and sitting in the stands. you don't really impact what happens on the court in the stands. You can cheer and you can boo and you can even throw stuff or whatever, it'll kick you out of the arena, but all you can do is react to what's happening on the court. It's the people on the court playing the game that dictate what happens in the game. And you know what happens on the court sometimes? Sometimes you make a shot and you're the hero. Sometimes you miss a shot at the buzzer and it's all your fault. Sometimes you fall down in front of everybody. Sometimes someone on the other team gets right by you, and that's what happens on the court. But if you're not willing to play, it can't happen. But it's scary down there. It's way easier to sit up in the stands and go, oh, he's no good. But when we get down and play, that's where the game really happens. So here's the question I have for you, all of you, not just the students, but every single one of you in this room. For the next few days that you're here, and some of you, all the students, I know you're engaged in this conference the whole time. Many of you professionals are. Some of you here from Sears, maybe in and out parts of it. But for however much of this conference you're going to be here, what do you want to get out of being here? I know some of you are here to give and to mentor. Awesome, fantastic. But what's in that for you? What are you hoping that you'll take away from this experience? Even those of you who've been involved with this wonderful organization for the entire 30 years, those of you, few of you here that founded it, what do you want to get out of being here authentically? Not like what you think you're supposed to say, but what you really hope to get from this. I'm going to give you a few minutes to turn back to your partner and talk about that as authentically as you can. What do you want to get out of this experience over these next few days? So I'd love to hear from a few of you. What are you hoping to get out of these next few days? I know that it already started. You had a big day today, but out of being at this conference, what are you hoping to get? Yeah.
My name is Reggie. I'm from San Francisco.
Hey, Reggie.
So what I was hoping to gain from this is just experience and skills and just the lessons that I can gain from anybody in here. I feel that you can learn. You're constantly learning.
Yeah.
I mean, life is a learning experience, and that when I talk to somebody or meet somebody that I can gain knowledge from them or gain a skill from them or gain something from them, that and just networking with all the professionals and more authentically too, what I want to get, maybe a job in the future.
Well, and here's the thing though, no, I so appreciate that, Reggie. One of the things though about this, look, this is an important distinction. I so appreciate what you said. And when you really start to get clear about what you want, at a conference like this in your life, you want a job, look, there's different ways to go about it clearly, as you'll get and have already gotten some training, some mentorship around interviewing, and you want to listen to the wisdom and the advice of people who know specifically related to jobs and industries and companies, absolutely. But one of my favorite sayings, Reggie, and you can remember this, is the answer's always no if you don't ask. The answer's always no if you don't ask. Now, it would be great if someone just knocked on your dorm room or your apartment door one day and said, hey, Reggie, you're a great guy. Come work for us, man. We heard about you. Right? And that happens. Look, it does happen every now and again. But for the most part, you got to show up. Right? You got to show up like you all have showed up at this conference. And then figure out, what is it that I want? And this is true for us, again, throughout life. What do I want? What do I want? And how do I create the opportunity for me to get what I want? And not just all about me, but also the people around me. How does it benefit all of them? So I appreciate you saying that. What else do you want to get out of being here? Yeah.
Good afternoon. Patrick Jackson, North Carolina A&T State University. I want to gain knowledge, empowerment, and direction throughout the conference here and a job.
Awesome. Yeah, great. Absolutely. We're seeing a theme here. Yes. A few others. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Erica Jones, and I'm representing Mississippi Valley State University.
Mississippi Valley State, Jerry Rice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, one, I think I stand for a broad spectrum of lifelong learning. So I really want to enhance my learning in any field, in any way possible. Also, to feel more comfortable with speaking with people who are in these positions. And also, again, picking of what he said, gain guidance to where I can go professionally in my field and related to the field that the conference is over.
Yeah.
Loss prevention.
That's great. Thank you. Absolutely. A few more. Yes.
My name is Michael Nelson. I'm a regional director with Kohl's Department Stores in Florida. A couple of things that I want to get. One, I've already gotten, quite honestly, and that's why I have my current position. But I wanted to get and build my network through this organization. But the second piece that I want to get is that the authenticity around my appreciation for what the organization has done for me.
Yes.
So me being here is really to express how much I appreciate what the organization has done for me and wanting to give that back.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for saying that.
You know, one thing I just want to say about what Michael said that's really important is organizations like this and situations like this where there's a beautiful element of mentorship and community happening here that's been built over now a few generations of this process. It's a reciprocal process. What that means is the receiving part of it, right? And what you're speaking to, you've received a lot from this organization. The gratitude that gets expressed back for the receiving, and then the giving on top of that, it's a cycle that continues. So, and that's for all of you. And again, a lot of you are here in the role and the capacity as mentors, which is beautiful. And a lot of you are here in the role and the capacity of being mentored or being mentees in this process, which is also beautiful. But we can also step outside of that role and realize to give and receive, receiving is really important. How many of you like helping other people? Raise your hand. It's really important, right? Most of us do. How many of you love asking other people for help? Yeah, only a few of us, right? Yeah. Now listen, I tell you what, you want to have a major breakthrough in your life and take your life and career to a whole other level, is start getting more comfortable with receiving the support of other people. Now, I'm not saying that we aren't supposed to work hard. Absolutely we are. But we have this funny thing in our culture about receiving help from other people. Like, no, I'm good, I'm fine. Do you know what I mean? I'll catch myself doing it. I'll have like 2 huge suitcases and a bunch of stuff, and some guy will come, hey, can I help you out? No, I'm fine. Like, I'm a real man, I can carry my bags. You know, it's like, what is that? Somebody just offered to help me, and I'm like, no. You know, and so we have this weird thing. Again, it's like hardwired into us. It's actually a sign of courage and strength when we can receive the support of other people. And this whole organization is built on support and service. And for those of you students, it may be easier because you're in that role, but I challenge all of you professionals here to stay in that role yourself and stay open to it. These students will serve you and give to you a lot over the next few days, as they already have, right? The inspiration, the ideas, the passion. And on the flip side, you students can actually offer a lot. I say this a lot when I get hired to come in to some of the organizations that I work with, specifically to talk to people who are relatively new in their first few years. One of the things that I often will say to them is, look, you got to remember, you bring a lot to the table. Yes, you have a lot to learn and you don't have a whole lot of experience. That's true for all of you. You're still in school trying to figure out what you're going to do. But you bring a lot to the table, and we sometimes forget that. And that's part of our own authenticity in being ourselves, is honoring, not being arrogant or disrespectful about it, but honoring what we do bring. So that's a really important piece. So I appreciate you saying that, Michael. A couple other people. What do you want to get out of the conference? Yeah.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Quentin Beard from North Carolina Central University. And one of the things that I plan to get while I'm here is a working knowledge of the loss prevention field, and 2 is the genuine mentor-mentee relationship.
Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for saying that.